Hi, my name is Katja. Welcome to this presentation on effects of music on play experience and time perception in virtual reality. Now, the ability to track time accurately has a bit of a curious reputation in entertainment media. On the one hand, it's considered a symptom of positively associated constructs such as flow, immersion, and engagement. On the other hand, it's also considered, or it's sometimes painted as, a symptom of obsessive media use. And overall, we really just don't know very much about time perception in games. And that is somewhat surprising because games are essentially like the Catnip of time perception, in that a lot of the factors that are known to influence time perception are inherent to games or are induced by them. Among these factors are attention, cognitive load, emotions, multimodal stimuli, attributes of an observed environment, or movement within it. It's important to note here that there are different time estimation paradigms. One of them is prospective time estimation. This is experience duration. And this is the case when individuals know beforehand that they will have to provide a time estimate. On the other hand, there is retrospective time estimation, RTE. This is remembered duration, and this is when the request for a time estimation comes as a surprise to the individual after stimuli exposure. We argue that RTE, retrospective time estimation, is more ecologically valid to games because players don't generally spend their time while playing thinking about how much time has passed. Overall, there is very little research on time perception in games, and what little research there is has shown mixed results. And there is even less research on time perception in the combination with audio, and similarly, there are very few works on time perception in VR. So in this paper, we explored how the presence of music affects time perception in a VR game, and we did so using a bow and arrow tower defense VR game. In a between participants user study, we asked participants to play the game either with music or without it. Our key results in summary are that most participants tended towards underestimating the time they spent in VR, but there was significantly more underestimation when music was present. Additionally, there was no effect on play experience, including immersion. Taking this step by step, this visualization shows the results of our time estimation in the study using a duration scaling method, and you can see that the majority clearly underestimated the time they spent in VR. Looking at it in more detail, in terms of the absolute difference from the correct time interval, you can see that there was a significant difference between having music present and not, with the condition with music leading to a greater difference from the correct time interval. And for all except a single player in the with music condition, this misestimation was an underestimation. This leads us to suggest the following hypothesis for corroboration in future studies. Namely that the addition of music to VR experiences may be able to make players feel like less time has passed. Now, of course, this needs to be considered with limitations and be confirmed in future work, because games are inherently quite complex stimuli, and there are many confounding factors. Individual factors and the many different attributes of music, as well as the strong subjectivity of music perception, are all potential confounds. Overall, the presence of music did not affect play experience, which we measured here as affective state, enjoyment, audiovisual appeal, which does not actually address audio, mastery, and immersion. Now, this lack of an effect is not overall entirely surprising, as it does confirm prior work of mine, which has also shown a similar lack of effect of music in VR. However, it is kind of surprising because immersion is supposedly tied to time perception bias, to losing track of time. So this may hint at a need for us to rethink our understanding of the connection between time perception and immersion. Because in this study, we were able to show that music can affect time perception without affecting immersion. And a similar thing without the music variable was shown by Norden et al., where they also found a time estimation effect without an effect on immersion. And then in contrast, the reverse was found by Sanders and Cairns 10 years ago. There, music affected immersion without affecting time perception. So this kind of together hints at a need to reconceptualize our understanding of this connection between time perception and immersion. Of course, future work is again necessary to confirm these results or investigate this further, especially because Sanders and Cairns' study was not conducted in VR, and as this work and my previous work show, there may be a less pronounced effect of music in VR in general. However, I would also like to point out that I'm not trying to say that music is not important in VR. In fact, we also conducted a preliminary exploratory case study, and while that needs to be considered with some limitations, it does potentially provide a tentative counterpoint that there may be qualitative effects of music on play experience in VR that are simply not captured by psychometric measures. Now, I would like to leave you with these key takeaways, namely that we may be able to use music as a design tool to make time pass quicker in VR. In the paper, we discuss ethical considerations of such a use case and also time perception scaffolding. And further, this is the second piece of evidence that music in VR does not seem to strongly affect player experience. And really, we call upon the community to join us in researching time perception in games and also the potential reasons for these subdued music effects in VR. Thank you very much for your attention. If you would like to discuss this further or have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me or my co-authors. Thank you very much.